What's going on, my smokers? Welcome to the place where you get that smoke with that wrestling punditry. I'm talking about none other than Pro Wrestling Smoke, part of the STO podcast family. You know who I am. Kevin Alves Champ, aka the Porn Rap Star. You can find all my links with one link, allmylinks.com/Porn Rap Star. Also, don't forget, also my name is aka Ali Pounded Check. So don't forget about our sponsors. First up, Past That Apparel. Next up, SmokeKind.com, King of THCA. And last but not least, SarahJCBDs.com. Please use my promo code BOBBIE to get 10% off your next order or first order from SarahJCBDs.com. Great line of stress, pain relief, and they even have lube. You feel me? Also, don't forget to hit that QR code for the play for the conversation. Get saucy, the titties pop out. Dildos might pop out. You don't know what pop off unless you subscribe. I'm talking about none other than the Premium Smoke Room. You can subscribe now for $6.25 a month. It is the risque side of the SEO podcast family. And don't forget about the flagship, which drops every Tuesday as well as Friday. Bonus for Friday, talking about none other than STO, the Smokers Lounge. You feel me? That's the flagship. Thank you. Another wonderful week. Like I said, every Thursday I'll be dropping Pro Wrestling Smoke. I told you, I said I'm cutting back on a lot of my recording because I'm tired of wearing myself the fuck out doing this shit. And y'all know what it is. I forgot to back the call. But doing wonderful. This is Tuesday to let y'all know. Of course, you know this. Tomorrow is Friday. You know we got Queen Bunny B audio for free. You want to see the video? You got to subscribe, as well as a great episode with Miss Spit Queen for the Chronicles, dropping this Saturday. You know, audio will be everywhere. Video will only be where you hit that QR code at. That's right, the Premium Smoke Room. Also, next Tuesday, I will have an interview which I dropped with the great Shawn Michaels, not the wrestler, the porn star, the black porn star king. You feel me? So I got a lot of shit coming your way. And I also would like to announce the newest sponsor to the STO podcast family, Odyssey Lounge out of Clayton. It is a swinger social club, which is smokers approved. Trust me, if you ever in North Carolina and you're taking a vacation, go to odysseylounge.net. Check out what event they're having that weekend. They're doing Fridays and Saturdays. And please pay your donation and attend. It is an experience, especially if you're in the lifestyle. Trust me, it made my experience in the lifestyle in North Carolina look a whole lot better. So you'll be hearing me talk more about the Odyssey Lounge, and I'll be interviewing the owner, my young nephew, you know what I'm saying, Mark. So there you go. So now, enough about sex and porn and all that, because this ain't the podcast for you. You want that? Hit the SEO Smokers Lounge. This week, what are we talking about? We're going to preview Backlash. We're going to talk about what's been going on with the WWE, especially with more releases, as well as some other news. And you know we're going to talk a little AEW. But first off, Asha has announced their first match for their show on the, hold on, let me get the date right. May 23rd is Asha 15. And the main event, as y'all know, it was announced last show. Darius Lockhart will be trying to unseat the Allfather to become the Ashe men's heavyweight champion. And of course, Ryan Rembrandt will be in the corner. As you know, last time, Darius was going to have someone in the corner with him, but Billy Dixon cost them that match and enabled Ryan Rembrandt to pin Darius Lockhart. thus putting Billy Dixon and Darius Lockhart at odds. Like I said, once we get the full card, I will be reviewing Ashe 15. Do I think Billy Dixon is going to have a part in this match? Yes. I think at some time it might even be a triple threat. Darius Lockhart and Darius Carter, this has been something that's been brewing since Ashe won. And Darius Carter defeated Lockhart. It wasn't for the title. I think it was in the championship match. He won a championship match defeating Lockhart. The question I know that y'all are asking, would it be smart to keep the belt on Darius Carter? Yes. And even though I wouldn't mind seeing Darius Lockhart as champ, your boy's just been too hot. And I don't know who they're grooming to become the Ashe champion after Darius Carter. Now, unless Billy Dixon interferes and costs Darius Carter the title, which sets up, because at some point we got to have Billy Dixon versus Darius Carter again. Because we had the Dusty finish, aka the Billy Dixon finish, as I renamed it, where he thought he won the match and he didn't. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen with Ashe 15. What other matches will be announced? I know there will be a women's title match that will be announced. I know there will be a tag title match that should be announced. Wouldn't surprise me if the Ugly Gang gets a title shot finally, their return match against TME, the main event. So I'm curious to see what they're going to have with that. And is the Pan-African Diaspora Champion, Khan, going to actually defend the title this go around? The demand has been in more demand with AEW these past couple of months. And yeah, so that's enough with Ashe. Let's talk a little AEW before we get to WWE. Let's begin with Darby Allin, shall we? A lot of people was questioning, should they took the belt off of MJF and gave it to Darby. Now, if Darby's going to have a short reign, this is probably one of the best short reigns I've ever seen. He has been on a blistering pace of defenses. Last night, he went against Kevin Knight, barn burner. Before that, I think Tommaso Ciampa. Now I see that Pac is next up after Okada. So Okada will get a chance to unseat Darby Allin. Now, the question is you ask is, why are they doing this? I mean, well, let me tell you why. Jay Cargill, y'all remember, Connection lost Rio, only defended the women's title, WWE women's title. I think twice? Well, actually, once. No, twice. This was her first defense. And she's been champ for since SummerSlam? Last SummerSlam, to be exact. So the biggest complaint was, damn, she don't defend the title enough. The biggest complaint when you have a short-term champion is they don't defend the title a lot within their short time span. That's why they're doing this, because even though Darby will probably lose the title to MJF, his title run is going to be one to be talked about for years to come. His title run is actually a good one. Oh, I forgot he went against Brody King. So you have him not only defend the title every week, damn near twice a week right now, but every last one of these guys he's defending against are top championship challengers. I'm really looking forward to this Pac match because him and Pac, they haven't arrived for the longest. And two, Tony wanted to see what it looked like if Darby is champ. So when he puts the belt on him again down the line, you know. But no, I actually wouldn't be mad if Darby kept the belt a little bit longer. Every match he had is good. We love championship matches that we think the challenger has a chance. Unlike Okada and Brian Keeper, we knew ain't no way here Brian Keeper beating Okada. Just like people thought the FTR was going to win against Orange Cassidy, X was going to win against Orange Cassidy to set up Trio's title. But instead, Tony, with great booking, said, I need another title match, tag title match, for FTR before their match with Cope and Christian. And once again, setting up, if FTR retains, their next title defense, or the next title defense before then, or the first challenges for the tag titles after FTR loses. Because I told y'all by rule, if the same man or team goes against the champion, 9 times out of 10, the champion loses the second go around or even third go around lately with their match. Because you can't have Cope and Christian lose again. And this go around, it's a, falls count anywhere, no disqualification type match. No, you're not going to have Cope and Christian lose again. So, loving how the Will Ospreay story is not only in AEW, but has spread in New Japan. I saw a promo with him and Colin Newsom, who is currently New Japan Pro Wrestling Champion, and the heir apparent to take over the Empire, which was started by Ospreay, was questioning Ospreay's loyalty because now he's down with the Death Riders. And we had another vignette, which I am loving, of him working out with the Death Riders. And I even love the exercise they did because they're really playing off his neck. Daniel Garcia was doing sit-ups. No, Willie Uter was doing sit-ups. As he does sit-up, Will Ospreay is doing his neck like this and then pushing Will Uter back up with his neck, which in turn he says making his neck strong. And this is his arc to the AEW World Championship. I already know, like I said before, I see MJF regain the title at the next pay-per-view because he put his hair on the line. He put his hair on the line. MJF got too many movies coming up. He ain't losing. But I'm seeing that arc is building, and we could be prepared for the Ops versus the Death Riders. And I put money on the first feud that Ospreay will have back during his first match, actually, during this whole arc, will probably be against Samoa Joe. Because Samoa Joe can't seem to keep Ospreay's name out of his mouth. So, I like the Ops versus the Death Riders, especially with the Ops being heels going this way. It's nice to see two groups that's beefing that has nothing to do with Don Callis, because I swear Don Callis has been dominating everything. Like I said, we do know that Kester will be facing off with Okada. I'm looking forward to that match. else happened this week? The women's tag team division is becoming interesting. And it's becoming stacked because we just had the Brawling Birds. We have the Brawling Birds. Jamie Hayter defeated Sky Blue. That war is going to continue between them. We haven't seen too much of Willow. Willow probably be on Collision and everything. And that's pretty much it. Other than the other stuff of continuations of different feuds, really nothing majorly big happened on here this week. So, like I said, AEW, I'm looking forward to this next week coming, and I think Darby will be going against Pac this Saturday for Collision. But unfortunately, I will have to watch that on repeat. I'll be watching Backlash. So, there you go. So, that's it for AEW. I really ain't got much. Now, let's talk WWE stuff. Let's talk about, first of all, rest in peace, Ted Turner. I should have started the show off with that. I grew up in the era of Ted Turner. I remember when he purchased Georgia Championship Wrestling and turned to the WCW. And the first time it came on, Tony Schiavone greeted us. And you had David Crockett there. It was a tradition to watch to go to the TBS Superstation at 6:05 p.m. to watch World Championship Wrestling. All the legends, fathers of some of your new guys of today, was on that show. Ted Turner was the biggest rivalry to Vince McMahon. The reason why Vince would never say Eric Bischoff, no, I'm against Ted Turner, because Ted Turner was a billionaire. And he signed the checks. McMahon was not only the matchmaker, he was the owner of the company. So that's why he said Turner was his biggest rival. WCW, I really miss it. I truly believe that if Ted Turner never gave up his power, never sold the company, that WCW would have survived, would have thrived, and we might not have an AEW. You know what I'm saying? I'm a huge Braves fan, low key. Yes, I'm a Braves fan and a White Sox fan in baseball. And I remember when TBS was made and CNN was made and all of this. And he was a liberal. He wasn't no goddamn conservative. Ted Turner meant a lot to pro wrestling. And he loved wrestling. He grew up on it. And when he got the opportunity to get a wrestling company, he did it. I even love the fact that he called Vince and said, I'm in the wrestling business now, Vince. Because it wasn't Trump with Vince Robert. Trump was Vince's best friend. It was the man from the South in Atlanta, Georgia, Ted Turner. So, rest in peace to Ted Turner. Yeah. They did a tribute on AEW. I'm pretty sure they're going to do a tribute on SmackDown. So, now, we had a lot of releases in the past 2 weeks, and I understand that TKO been going around asking for pay cuts. This sounds like WCW. I'm gonna be real with you. This sounds like when Jim Cornette talked about when TBS took over WCW, and God, I can't think of the guy that ran it. And he talked about how corporate came in and just changed everything. And that's what's happening here with TKO. Now, is it going to kill WWE as it did WCW? No. But it's going to make it interesting moving forward because first they asked people for a pay cut, 50% of a pay cut. That is fucking crazy. Despite the fact these motherfuckers made billions last year. And the reason why, because they're not doing a lot of house shows. They're saying you guys ain't wrestling as much because, WWE ain't doing a lot of house shows anymore. Actually, their schedule is damn near becoming like that at AEW or even TNA. So they wanted to restructure many of the contracts so that, you know what I'm saying, to represent that. Last I heard, if someone actually restructure your contract and it's not in your entrance, you tell them to go kick rocks. And that's what New Day did. TKO is about making money. It's not about making a better product. It's not about putting on a great wrestling show. It's about making money. They know this. Y'all gonna still show up to the WWE. Y'all still gonna come to WrestleMania. Y'all complain about the ticket price all y'all want. Y'all gonna pay them. Same thing that I say in porn. Wrestling's a fix. No different than that of porn, believe it or not. So when girls saying, no, we're in a recession and I set up my prices because I want you to be able to buy. TK on the other end said, hell no, bitch. They're going to pay it. Well, but they're going to pay it because that's what we're asking for. It's funny how TKO got more sense than y'all women in porn. Because instead of them going down, they went up on the price. And they made record profit. While the girls in porn, y'all go down the price and don't make no fucking money and then complain. So, do I agree with them asking some of these fuckers to restructure their contracts? I understand from a business standpoint, but I don't like it. But also, it's a business ploy to get rid of people who you don't want to release, you don't want to fire, but you don't want to keep. See, restructure their contract, which brings us to Xavier Woods, aka Consequences Creed, and Kofi Kingston, who I don't even know what the fuck his real name is. Where is Kofi's real name? Let's see. Kofi Kingston's real name. His name is Corey Kentfield. Interesting. Her name is Kofi. Oh, so he's from Ghana. So his real name is Kofi. No, his spouse, my bad. His spouse is Corey Champfield. His real name is Kofi Nahia Sakoti Mansa. So he probably would go by Kofi Mansa in the Indies. It was announced that they had left, and Kofi later admitted that part of the reason they left because they was actually restructuring the contract. Then I heard that AEW went to Xavier Woods, offered him a deal about his video to do some of the video games to keep him because, well, Xavier Woods has an extensive history and fandom within the gaming world. Like, people really watch this motherfucker play games. I remember when they did a convention, it was him versus, it was New Day versus the Elite. Kenny Omega versus Xavier Woods. I think Xavier Woods won that matchup. And I forgot what it was for. It was for Street Fighter. I think it was Street Fighter. And Xavier Woods always, he had up, down. That channel was really very successful and so forth. Plus, you already know he knocked down Soraya. You know, he knocked down Paige. You get me? He knocked down Paige, nigga. Yeah. It was a whole scandal about that. But I see them going to AEW. They're not going to be called a New Day, of course, but I see them going to AEW, which will definitely strengthen their tag team division. I wouldn't be mad he went to TNA because, Consequential Creed was actually in TNA before he came to WWE. And I remember seeing him on WWE Anarchy, but that's another conversation for another day. So, do I think Jay Wood's going to sign with the WWE? No, he's going to probably move on. Him and Kobe probably going to stay a tag team. And like I said, I would love to see him in AEW. I actually would love to see him a part of the Hurt Syndicate because that was a tease online by both Shelton as well as Bobby Lashley. And to see them in the Hurt Syndicate would be hot because guess what? That would free up Bobby as well as Shelton to go after Singles Gold. And you have the New Day or what have you. They might call themselves the Hurt Day. You will see them go after tag titles. Once the Bobby and New Day become tag champions, probably next All In. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens with that. Now, one of the guys I think they probably took a pay cut was probably The Miz. Wouldn't surprise me if he was one of the guys that took the pay cut. Because The Miz probably don't want to go nowhere else. He's good. He's been getting used. So he was just recently on ESPN this morning discussing Backlash. So I wouldn't be surprised that The Miz was one of the ones that asked the pay cut and said cool because he probably didn't feel like going anywhere else. And there probably are some guys and gals that took the pay cut, But it's just crazy that TKO their public persona is sucking right now. It is sucking. So, sucking ass. So, and like I said, these cuts people shouldn't be surprised because they've been doing this every year. And I know people were surprised by Kairi Sane. I was not surprised by that. But so much. Well, no, I was surprised because they had in the middle of a fucking feud that they got rid of them. But two things. They want to get younger and they're trying to get rid of the old blood. They're trying to get rid of the old blood and the people that they feel is useless. But the truth be told is that now because the indies is so open, you got so many options. Motherfuckers ain't gonna be hurt with so much. Because some of these motherfuckers was making a killing on the indies. Look at Matt Cardona before he went back to WWE. Think he was broke. But see, here's the other part of it. It's gonna make people be a tad bit hesitant to go to WWE. Because it used to be a time where they had your contract, you could have your contract, you couldn't be cut. I remember Bret Hart's contract. They couldn't release him unless he wants it. Unless he wants it. And the thing that they forgot to mention during the Shawn Michaels thing, that Vince, the one that sold Bret Hart's contract to Ted Turner. They didn't say that in the documentary. Vince was the one that wanted to get rid of Bret Hart because the company was dying at that time. He sold Bret Hart. Yeah, Bret was talking to WCW, but that's a lie. Vince already had the deal inked. Bret was just talking to him about when he was going to start. And talking to Eric Bischoff, the whole nine. Because their biggest worry, Vince's biggest worry, that him taking that WWE title to Monday Night Nitro. The same thing Rick did years prior when he took the World Heavyweight title and went to WWE. He didn't want Karma to come back on his ass. So yeah, we just want to clear that up. So, like I said before, I am curious to see all the call-ups, what all the call-ups is going to do. We already see what's going on now. Blake Monroe is going to be making an appearance on Friday to be yet. as well as we got new people in NXT. What was his name? Hold on, give me a sec. What's that boy name? The new wrestler. Hold on, give me one sec. Oh, by the way, Rio won the Progress. I gotta start checking on my progress. So give me 1 second. I'm trying to find this, but anyway, Kroos is now Mark Cross or some of that nature, or what have you. And I'm jumping off the rails, ladies and gentlemen. I'm jumping off the rails. But anyway, now let's talk a little bit of NXT. Then we'll get to Backlash. NXT was pretty good this week. D'Angelo's having a good title run so far. I'm loving D'Angelo as champ. I'm loving Matt Bourne. I'm loving this new era of NXT. The new guy who came from Progress, God cannot think. I saw his name earlier, and then the funny part is I can't seem to get his name back. Hold on, let's see here. Will Cross, who has now changed his name to Mason Rook, who changed his name to Mason Rook. He is a beast, to say the least. And his moveset is sick. He made another attack on D'Angelo, so I'm pretty sure D'Angelo is next up. Evil got Naruto, whatever his name is, goddamn it, it's not a Naruto name. He has been given a name. So we're gonna probably see him this week debut. The women's title picture is definitely getting very packed because we had Lizzie Rain who made her attention known. We have Lizzie Dane, as well as some other ladies that is being set up. So now we get everything coming into picture with NXT. And I am so sad that my baby lost to my other baby, Callie Armstrong. Very good match. It just seems like they treat Jada Parker like that of Dolph Ziggler. Like he is the best enhancement talent you can have. Yeah, your new people, you want to get them over, put them in the ring with Jada Parker. I don't see Jada Parker getting no close to that women's championship or North American title. Oh no, wait, my bad. The world title picture, because of course Izzy Dane is in the picture, but Lizzie, it was my bad. It was Lizzie Dane, Tatum Paxley, Zarya. And so that North American title picture is what I'm calling. And then of course, they had a mixed tag match where Lizzie Dane won. So Lizzie Dane will be getting a title shot at the next pay-per-view. I don't see Lizzie Dane winning it. No. Because right now, Lola Vice is hot right now. Her sexy ass. She's hot. I don't see them taking the belt off her no time soon. I'm loving what they're doing with the Vanity Project. Okay, y'all remember when China was introduced? Well, this, I don't know if it's a woman or a transgender, but, and people thought the same thing about China. No, literally thought the same thing about China. They thought China was a transgender. So what Shawn Michaels is doing the China / Triple H arc where the villain's heavy hitter is a strong woman. I like it. I like it a lot. And I think he's trying to play the Vanity Project up to be something like the Generation X, a mix between the Generation X and Evolution, in my opinion. So I'm just curious to see more what happens on NXT and see who else might be popping up. I have to say this. NXT got gutted, but because of Evolve and the guys that have been coming up, I think NXT is going to get even better. This might be one of their best eras coming up. Even though it's kind of, I think their roster is missing is that Ethan Page kind of guy. Now, Tristan Angel, Mr. England, I see him being that. I see him being NXT champion one day because he has a look about him where he talks, and plus the guy can go. And I'm not even going to front the English dude, Cross, a.k.a. now Matt Rocks. He reminds me of Kevin Owens. Straight up. He reminds me of Kevin Owens. So I'm curious to see what happens with NXT and what have you. Evolve is been pretty good. Had a great three-way dance for the title last week. Tyra May still had her last match, and she lost to County Armstrong. And Wendy Chu is the women's champion. Her first defense will be, which I will probably watch after I get off of here, will be against Lady Luck, who is currently the women's WWE ID champion. So, and I'm seeing that a couple of the guys from Evolve has now moved up. Now, the thing about Evolve is that they tape record. So it's kind of like with the old school back in the day where one town sees something and another town sees something else. You feel me? You know, because they tape the head, yeah, you're going to see Cam on there, but Cam is currently will be on NXT. So I'm curious to see what who else is going to debut on because now they got a new click called the ID 2.0 that looks real nice. You know what I'm saying? So I'm curious to see what's going to happen with that with Evolve. Now, let's get to this Backlash, shall we? WWE, the Backlash build, okay, I'm going to tell you how crazy it is. I didn't even realize Backlash was this weekend. I thought it was next weekend. The build has been pretty decent. I noticed that when they do these PLEs, they do 5 matches. They don't do a lot of matches. They do a lot of matches for the big name PLEs, but not these PLEs. Like these PLEs is going to be 4 to 5 matches at best. Now, do I like the shorter format of a pay-per-view? I think they can add 2 more matches. You know. But the matches that they got, I ain't even going to front. This might be one of the best PLEs outside of WrestleMania. Well, actually, WrestleMania wasn't that good. So, the next best PLE they had. So, let's take a look, shall we? Now, we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches slated for this. Danhausen is so over. Danhausen is so over, people. And I know a lot of people are going to say that, well, Tony didn't use him. Tony didn't use him right, this, that, and the third. No. Some promotions are built for guys like Danhausen. And WWE is that. WWE loves kooky. Look at their history. I don't need to say no more. Dumpster Drosy. You get what I'm saying? They had a guy that was a hockey match. They had the Repo Man. The Repo Man. Yeah, they had. Yeah, he was a thing. So Danhausen, not surprised. By the way, he has a beautiful wife. They're a cute couple. So he been going at it with the Miz and Kit Wilson. So the last week, the Miz and Kit Wilson finally got their comeuppance on Danhausen. So with that being said, now after Danhausen got beat the shit out of, this was fun. I'm sorry, one of the funniest segments ever. He goes up to Adam Pearce and he said he wants a match with the Miz woman card. He said, I'll give you that as long as you find a tag partner. Mother said, all right. And let's find one. It was just like, he was disappointed that it was a tag match. That was really funny. He was like, oh, damn, I ain't looking for a tag team partner. I wanted to whoop both hands for myself. Like, I do it your way. So I'm curious to see who's going to be his mystery partner. Damn, that's a good question. Who would be his mystery partner? I'm looking over the roster. Who would actually fit him to be in the ring and would match his money? So could it be LA Knight? Could it be this person, that person? We don't know. I don't have an idea. So we'll see who his mystery partner is going to be. Prediction, right? Yeah, I got to give you a prediction. Danhausen win. There ain't no way in here Miz and Kit Wilson is going to win. And add into it Danhausen, and add into it is a mystery partner. Next up is the blow off to the damn near year and a half story arc of Asuka versus Io Sky. Now, y'all remember Io Sky, Asuka, and Kairi Sane was in the clip together. Then Io Sky, Asuka got into it, fell out over Rhea Ripley. And of course, Kairi Sane chooses Asuka's side because Asuka supposed to be like her gaijin and her teacher and her big sis or what have you. Love to die there, but she be like, Kairi be looking. She want to say something. She be like, oh, big sister call. I gotta go. You know what I'm saying? So of course, Kairi Sane gets released. Part of the story arc was for Kairi Sane to turn on Asuka. How you gonna do that? Y'all released her. I think Kairi not being there took some steam off the match. No doubt it's gonna be a good match. No doubt. Might be the match of the night. But some of this thing was taken off with Kairi Sane not being there because a lot of the attention is going to be to Kairi Sane. Is she going to help Asuka? Is she going to turn on Asuka? When is she going to turn on Asuka? How is she going to turn on Asuka? And he posed himself Kairi Sane versus Asuka. But there's no Kairi Sane. Now, if they're going to bring Kairi Sane back to pay off the storyline, they could do that. They could give her, one night payoff. Or y'all could just re-sign the motherfucker with her fine ass. Could have just re-signed her for a shorter deal. So I really hate Kairi Sane's gone because I'm sorry, her and Oscar, that just. I'm sorry, both of them women sex as hell. Deal with it. Anyway, AO Sky winning. Because I'm trying to think. They even setting up EO to go after Liv or I got a feeling EO Sky is gonna either probably go back after the Intercontinental title. Because I don't see them trying to throw into the world title picture. So we'll see. Next up, Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker. Now, we saw, they're doing a good job building this match. Seth and Braun had brawls throughout the show, throughout Monday Night Raw, which ended with, you thought Seth got the comeuppance before the match until what's the name of them? Until the Street Profits got involved, which distracted Seth, which in turn enabled Braun Breaker to spear the shit out of him. And the fact that Joe Henry and them came to Seth Rollins and said, okay, we get what you're saying, and Seth gave him the middle finger and said, y'all fuck off. Because they brushed Seth off. He was the one that came and said, look, we got a common enemy. My enemy of my enemy is my friend. Okay? Let's band together and got them shut these fuckers down. Which is ultimately is going to happen. Okay? Because you got Joe Hendry, who is beefing with Jake Paul. And you got the tag titles, which, of course, the Street Profits probably going to win the titles back. But at some point, Bronson Reed is going to return. And you're going to have Bronson Reed and your boy go after the Street Profits. Wouldn't surprise me. But let's get to the Seth Rollins Braun Breaker match. I don't see Seth winning this one. You tried to put over Braun Breaker as the new young beast. Also, you need Seth to eventually have to connect and collaborate with Joe Henry and the Street Profits, because he can't take these guys down by himself. Because you even saw when the Street Profits attacked the tag champs, Braun Breaker came in there and shut that shit down. Then Seth Rollins came in and attacked. It's going to be a good match, but there's going to be some outside interference, which is going to help Braun Breaker finally get the win. Now, next up, whoop that trick, whoop that trick, whoop that trick. My favorite nephew with one of the hottest wives, one of the hottest women in WWE last. She's so goddamn fine, tall, and sexy and thick. Legend. Boy, hey, Trick, I know you knocking that down nightly, bro. Push good on it. You be hitting it from the back, talking some whoop that pussy, whoop that pussy. I'm sorry. Last Legend is gorgeous. But anyway, good taste, big man. He will be defending his newly won United States title return match against Sami Zayn, aka the Gingerbread Man. I am sorry, last week, the death of the Gingerbread Man. Oh my God, I couldn't stop laughing. Trick Williams need to be in a comedy, a black comedy as a character. Sami Zayn did his promo, lost his noodle, beat up the poor Gingerbread Man, ripped him apart. Trick Williams comes in, put up the crosses. The trainer, Trick Williams, go in. And late on that night, they go to the trainer's room where the gingerbread man is at. Trick comes out, said, he said, you can do this, you did, but you can't mess with the gingerbread man. And the doctor comes out, he said, how's gingerbread man? He's gone. That's your ass. That's your ass, Sammy. Let's talk about it. God damn. Oh, I'm sorry. Trick's gonna be champ, gonna be world champ by next WrestleMania. There's no way I don't see how they don't put one of them title belts on. He's too entertaining. He's too entertaining. Over is the black Brock Lesnar per se. If you got to say the John Cena, The Rock, it got a combination. It got to be. No. You give me Booker T and John Cena. Trick wins, baby. So he gonna go against Sami Zayn. Before he even announced that, I heard that Little Yachty is interested in becoming a pro wrestler, and he's gonna take it serious. He ain't just doing it for a payday. He's gonna do what Jake Paul is doing. Yachty, get your weight up. Get your weight up. Get your weight up. And I hope that you do it because Travis Scott was too much of a pussy. You took bumps. You took some bumps, dog. What did Travis Scott do? No. He slapped somebody in the fucking ear like he's some tough fucking guy. Fucking pussy. I hate celebrities like him. They come into wrestling. No, I love Travis Scott music. I love him as an artist. But as a wrestling fan, you stink, you piece of shit. But the ginger man bread can and will take a loss. Trick Williams will retain the United States title, furthering Sami Zayn's turn. It would not surprise me that after the whatever world title program that happens with Cody, Sami Zayn might be next in line. Wouldn't surprise me. So Trick Williams retains. Now let's go to the main event. It's going to be a good one. Jacob Fatu will be challenging the OTC Acknowledge Me Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship. We saw the reintroduction to the mythos of pro wrestling, the Tongan Death Grip. That is old as shit, people. I remember Ming used it. I remember the Samoans used it. I remember many Samoans used the Tongan Death Grip. You know, period. That's why they take their fingers with their gloves. You know, take their fingers like this because it goes underneath and it grips. So, interesting that they allowed Jacob Fatu to use the Tongan Death Grip. Well, one, you already got the Samoan Spike being used by Solo Sikoa, so he can't use it. The Tongan Death Grip actually made Jacob Fatu looks more dangerous. And I like the fact that no matter what Roman did, he couldn't shake Jacob off his ass. He Superman punched him, still got a Tongan Death Grip on him. He slammed him, he threw, still couldn't get the Tongan Death Grip off of him. And ultimately, he succumbed to it. Now, can we be real? Can we be real? Jacob not winning the title. They're not going to put the belt on Roman to lose his first title defense. They're not putting the belt on Roman for him to lose his first title defense. But is it going to be a good match? Is it going to look like Jacob want to win? Yeah. But Roman's going to win. And Jacob Fatu is going to become the new fourth member of the new version, well, this version of the Bloodline. Now I know what you're saying. Why couldn't he just join it from the jump? His storyline mixed in with a little history, Samoan. He's the toughest warrior. He don't respect the king. The king had to make him respect him. How the king make him respect him? The king got to whoop his ass. After he whoop his ass, he joins. Guess what? Guess what other storyline is like that? Death Riders, Ospreay. Mox defeats Ospreay, despite the fact Ospreay had the match won numerous times. Then he brings Ospreay into the family and make Ospreay great. The difference between the same story arc, because what the Roman said, yeah, people in my family eats. You join my family, you eat. No, he don't want to be a part of the family. Nigga, he want to be the head of it. He want to be the head of the table. Same story arc. Funny. Shield. Once again, y'all keep acting like Triple H is such a great motherfucking booker that y'all don't notice how he copies shit from other bookers. And every last one of them got it from Star Wars. They had the Sith work. They see a Jedi that they like. We whoop the Jedi's ass and offer him a chance to join us to become stronger and learn to be great. And a lot of times the Jedi joins the Sith Lord as an apprentice. But first, I got to beat your ass into submission. Why did Ospreay listen to Mox? Because Mox beat him. So for Jacob to sit here and submit, he got to submit physically. Would I like to see Jacob Fatu win that match? You goddamn right. But when Roman said he wants a belt, what the baby wants, the baby get. And I guarantee you, he's one that didn't ask. They didn't ask to take a pay cut. I'm going to say this again. Everything that was Samoan was not asked to take a pay cut. Keep that in mind. They didn't ask Roman. Damn sure they asked the Usos. Jacob just got there. Solo they didn't ask. They got rid of JC Mattea and where is it? Tonga. I think both of them, Tama and I think both of them are gone. I think the Grill Destiny might be gone. I don't know. We'll see Friday. But no, the main family, the Fatu family. I'm just saying. And I even like how they played it up. That move supposed to be the last resort, bro. That disrespect was hell what you did to Roman. to the tribal chief, nigga. We're not supposed to do that but last resort. You like, it is the last resort, nigga. I'm trying to win this title. Fuck your feelings. Y'all dissing cousins, nigga. You my cousin once removed, nigga. They say ooze, we say nigga, you know, you get it. But no, I just think that's gonna be a good ass match. But no, I don't see Roman losing. I don't see Roman losing. I don't see that happen. So there you go. There's your preview and prediction of Backlash. I hope y'all enjoyed this show. Now I got to shut this show down so I can load it for y'all to watch. So let me tell you what you need to know. First of all, hit that promo code for the place. It'll take you to the place where the conversation gets saucy, the titties pop out, dildos might pop out. You don't know what pop off. I'm talking about the risque side of the STO podcast family. On loyal fans of Premium Smoke Room. 4 wonderful podcasts for you to enjoy, plus special episodes such as Project Content House and the VIP Smoke Room. Also, don't forget, I also got some stuff on Spotify for subscribers over there. That's not going to break your pockets. 2 wonderful podcasts. Had the Smoke on it as well as Savage Smoke, where I talk to the industry top male talents and producers. As we give you that real smoke about the industry, you feel me? So no matter how you want the smoke, please just subscribe to the smoke. And also don't forget about the flagship of the STO Smoke Podcast, STO Podcast family, the Smokers Lounge, people. There you go. So with that being said, you know how we end these things all day, every day. Life is a learning experience. What's the point of the experience if you haven't learned anything? Smoke this over.